who is that person breathing like a vacuum cleaner? Back in 1996, I began studying yoga. That was probably where my hyperventilation became reinforced. I was studying a type of yoga that they call in the United States vinyasa flow. It's a derivative of Ashtanga. I was taught how to breathe, and I was taught to breathe in a manner called Ujjayi. The teacher described it to make the noise of Darth Vader, to breathe deeply and make that noise. That became one of the focal points of concentration throughout the practice of doing all these movements. That was how I learned to practice. I loved yoga and quickly became a cornerstone in my life. I practiced every day, even did teacher trainings and taught in this style for many years until I took my first Iyengar class. We did one pose, Tadasana, for like 20 minutes. It totally shattered my reality of yoga in that it was all about stability and learning to cultivate stability. And that meant to be able to have the concentration to bring alignment into this very singular focus and pose. I remember also in that class, the teacher saying, who is that person breathing like a vacuum cleaner? And I figured it must be me because I was the only one I was hearing in the class. And there went my pride about what a good breather I was. I'm saying all this to say, not that I learned to deep breathe in my yoga practice, but that it was reinforced. And I thought I must be really healthy and I must be a really good yoga practitioner because I breathe so loud and I breathe so heavy and I breathe so deeply. In the Iyengar practice, I was corrected several times. One of the things that they teach is just have your breath be normal. So they don't teach small breathing by any means, but they don't teach breathe deeply. There was a woman in class who was a friend, and I remember her coming up to me one day and inviting me to a class that she was going to be having at her home. She was going to be studying to be a practitioner of this breathing training. I remember the name of it because it was so odd, and it was Buteyko. I didn't realize she was inviting me because she could see I was an overbreather. I do remember back then that I was always yawning and sighing in class. And while I wasn't so much actively doing this Ujjayi breath, my breath was still deep. And it continued that way until I came to the Buteyko practice and learned how incorrect it was.